Hi everyone, this is Keith from the Property Upgrader. In today's video, I'll be showing you some data analysis and some research I've done for a new EC at Tengah, Novo Place EC by Hoi Hub. Alright, so this EC is now currently having its preview from the 2nd of November all the way until next Tuesday, 12th of November. Alright, so now let's get straight into what I have for you. Okay, so key takeaways for this video is I will let you know two main highlights of Novo Place EC. Why is it a project that you should look at if let's say you are a first timer or you are a HDB upgrader. Alright, and then the performance of the nearby past ECs at this region, the Choa Chu Kang, the Bukit Batok, and the Bukit Gombak areas. Okay, and then the price gap, this is actually quite important. Okay, the price gap of the new ECs versus the new private launches over the past 17 years. Okay, so this is to allow everybody to easily understand how the prices have changed in this past 17 years. Okay, because we have always been hearing a lot of buyers saying, well, now the prices are too high to enter. Okay, or is it safe to actually even buying an EC at 1005, 1006, 1007 PSF levels? Okay, so this is quite an important section that I will go through with everybody, and also maybe let you know, if let's say you were to go into Novo Place, what is the upside potential that you will be expecting? All right, and then the number of BTO clusters and the HDB resale prices at this Tengah Bukit Batok location. Okay, this is again important for your exit strategy because majorly whenever EC owners after their 5 years MOP period and they put their units on sale, right, most of the buyers will be HDB upgraders. All right, so this is very important, which I will go through with you. Okay, so this video I don't think it will be a very long one, so I will just go in with you all this key information so that you can have a good understanding of all the data, all the updated data and analysis at this location. Alright, so the first one will be the main highlights of Novo Place. This is the map, okay, taken from the brochure, okay, from the Hoi Hub project brochure. Okay, so I will just touch on a few main things lah. Alright, so Novo Place is right here, and then of course the first thing that you may have noticed is this Tengah Park MRT station. Right, so this Novo Place, right, later I will give you more information, but Novo Place itself is the EC that is the nearest to an MRT station, right? It's only around 4 minutes walk, and then based on my Google Map distance, I plot the measurement, right? It's around 350 meter. Okay, so it's a comfortable 4 to 5 minutes walk. And then more importantly is that you have a very good primary school over here, Princess Elizabeth Primary School, and we are also very near to the Jurong Innovation District and the Jurong Lake District, which will be the second CBD of Singapore. And then this Jurong Innovation District is an expansion of the tech and research direction of Singapore coming from One North. Okay, so this JID is another huge plot of innovation district that the government is working on. And what does this mean to all the property owners in Tengah is that the rental, your future sellability will definitely be a very positive takeaway, okay, from based on all these JID and JLD developments at this west area of Singapore. Okay, other than that, you have this Plantation Plaza. You also have the Le Quest Mall. You also have this Bukit Batok area, whereby you can get your groceries. You can have your all your amenities nearby. Right, so all in all, I would say staying at this location not only gives you the convenience of what you need, you are practically the one, most importantly, closest to the MRT. Okay, which makes it very attractive. Next time when you lease your property for sale, and then there's a buyer who's looking to buy a project which is near MRT, this is something that is going to give you a huge advantage. All right, and then this is our master plan. Okay, I pull out the master plan and then I overlay them to show you the potential of Tengah itself. How many more plots of land can we expect? And then why is this important again? It's because every time whenever we buy into an area, we will want to know, in future, will there be newer projects or not? Because as we know, land price is getting higher, and then the labor cost, material cost, everything is getting higher and higher. So naturally, newer projects next time, they will be fetching a higher pricing. And this is a norm across the 17 years that I will go through with you later. And when newer projects are being sold at a higher price, this gives you the exit strategy that you are looking at, and then this gives you the healthy capital gain that a lot of buyers are looking for, right? So again, Novo Place is over here. And what are the nearest plots of land that are available, okay, for future plans? Okay, so as of now, you see this plantation acres lah, plantation age all these have already been confirmed, okay. But then there's this yellow site reserve land just right opposite us, and then there are these two plots of land here, which are, as of now, I checked the master plan, right, there isn't any confirmation yet. Okay, so these are the nearest plots of land to us. And then what's more is all this, right? So you all see all these circles on the master plan. Okay, so why is this important? Again, is because if, let's say, example, now this land, after maybe around 3 to 4 years later, and the government decide to sell this plot of land to become a condo, a private condo. As we all know, last week there's a project in Woodlands called North Grand, selling an average PSF of around 2,000 to 2,100, right? And it achieved a very good percentage sold of 84%. And like Lentor area and even like Lakeside area, the private new launches are already selling around 2,200 to 2,300 PSF in current market, okay, 2024. So in future, right, if let's say there's this plot of land here, and example, if let's say it's a private condo, we can foresee that the price would probably be around 2003, right? And again, why is this important for buyers looking at Novo or current EC, right? It's because our entry price now is around 1,006 PSF, okay, around there lah, 1,005, 1,006. And this gap of 1,006 and 2,003 is a gap of 700 PSF, which makes your entry price very safe. Okay, so I won't touch on so much here. I will touch on this later on. I just now mentioned about the price gap, okay, which is why I specifically mentioned that is a very important segment that I want to touch on. Right, so other than all this circle, right, there are still 3 more very exciting ones, which is this one, the blue plot, and also this corner here, this I would say red plot, okay, because all this will be a mixture of like commercial and residential, which makes them even more attractive, which makes them probably even higher price. Okay, so now that we're going into Novo Place, okay, it is still considered very early because Tengah is a very new town, and we can see that there are still so many empty plots of land available for future, be it HDB or private, to come out. And then no matter, even if it's HDB, it's also a good thing, because as we all know, HDB prices are going higher and higher these days, and this means that you have more resale buyers to come and buy your EC when you eventually put your unit for sale in future. Alright, so these are the 2 main highlights that I will touch on for Novo Place. Of course, there are other stuff, but I won't be going through so much lah. Alright, so if you want to know more about JID, JLD, then of course you can get in touch with us, and then I can do a full presentation to you. Alright, so number 2 I'll be touching on will be the performance of the nearby past EC. Right, so to let you have an understanding, how are their characteristics like? Are they near MRT? How much profit have they made over all these years? Okay, so I went into Edge Property. This is a portal whereby we can always do a lot of research. So what I did is I plot around somewhere in the middle of Choa Chu Kang and Bukit Batok, and then I put it at a radius of 3 kilometers, and I targeted all the ECs, all the equivalent, because we want to compare apple to apple. Right, then the result comes out to be how many? There are only here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 ECs altogether, And if you have been following the market, Altura, Lumina, and Grand, these three are the newer ones. Okay, which means that there are only 5 ECs in this whole area. Okay, is it a lot? Actually, no. Yeah, only 5 supporting this whole entire Choa Chu Kang, Bukit Batok, Bukit Gombak cluster. Okay, and then more importantly will be the demand. Okay, Grand, there's 628 unit. Look at the sales volume over here. All right, it's fully sold. Okay, and then how come some of you may be thinking, hey, how come only got 628 but there are 641? Okay, because sometimes, you know, after some buyers, after they book their unit because of certain personal reasons lah, they give up their purchase, and then this unit goes back into the market. And every time a unit is being resold, you know, the data will just count them accordingly. And then for Lumina Grand, 512 unit, 434 sold, 360 unit, 346 sold. So Altura and Lumina Grand practically is near fully sold already. And then the max price that they hit, okay, Grand, they actually sold the highest price, 2.2 million. Lumina 2.4 million, Altura also 2.4 million. But of course, these will be the bigger units lah. On average, right, it's around 1.4, 1.65, 1.7 for Altura, Lumina, and Grand respectively. Okay, so this is just to give you an idea. You know, like past 2 years, what are the prices that people have already paid for a new EC, and also to let you understand that the demand is there. Right, it's not that, you know, the people are not accepting this type of prices. People are already paying this type of price for an EC at this location. Okay, and then I also did this map, right, to show you easily where are all these ECs locations. Okay, so Novo Place, which is right here. Okay, main highlight, like I say, right, we are nearest to MRT. We are just 350 meters to Tengah Park MRT station, okay, which is a comfortable 4 minutes walk. But what about the past ECs? Right, so I'll just go from the newest to the oldest one lah. All right, so Lumina Grand, Altura, just now you saw that, you know, the selling, the demand is there, the take-up rate has been fantastic. Okay, so but are these two near MRT? Not really. Okay, so Lumina Grand is 1.1 kilometer to Tengah Park MRT, and then they can also, of course, go to Bukit Gombak, right, which is also not that near lah. All right, so Altura is about 989 meters. Okay, so these two, despite them selling very well, you know, they are not near the MRT, but they do have one advantage over Novo Place, is that they are within 1 km of ACS, right? So different people got different types of needs and wants lah. All right, so the thing is that as much as possible, we always want to have all the positive factors in our property purchase, but you know, sometimes it's based on the timing and location. So for Lumina Grand and Altura, even though they are not near the MRT, right, their take-up rate is also very strong, and you will understand why in a while. Okay, Grand, which is here, the first EC in Tengah. It is near to 3 MRT, and this is Tengah MRT will be where the main Tengah town will be, right? 500 meter, decent, but of course not as near as Novo Place. And then as of now, they have already gained 14% capital gain. Okay, so I'll explain this, why they are able to get 14%, okay, even though this project is still under construction. Inns Residences is at this southern part of Choa Chu Kang. All right, so is it near the MRT? No. Okay, 1.28 kilometer to Choa Chu Kang MRT. But take note, 78% capital gain. All right, so it's the capital gain in this whole location is really fantastic. Okay, Inns Residences, TOP 2019, not too far ago, now they are selling in the resale market after hitting the 5 years MOP period, 78% capital gain. And then the next two, Wondervale and Soul Acres, both also in Choa Chu Kang. All right, so look at their location. Are they both near to MRT? 1.2 km, 650 meters to Choa Chu Kang. Same thing, even though both are not near MRT, 82% capital gain, 92% capital gain for these two projects. Next, we'll look at the rainforest. Okay, this one 2015, and again 570 meters to Choa Chu Kang MRT. But look at the capital gain, 94% capital gain, right? And then of course the OG, the last, the oldest EC at this location at Bukit Batok, the deal, TOP 2000. 200% capital gain. 700, oh, this one is meter, right? 700 meter to Bukit Batok MRT. So remember just now I was saying, how come I am also still so confident that Lumina Grand and Altura buyers are safe? It's because looking at all these past ECs, right? Are all of them really near MRT? Not really. Okay, 650, 1.2 kilometer, 570, 1.3 kilometer, 700 meter. But look at their capital gain, 92, 82, 94, 78. This clearly shows us that the demand for a resale condo at this location, right, is super high. Okay, then you understand more on these numbers because I will show you the amount of HDBs at this location in a while. Okay, so the demand is so strong that even though that none of these past ECs are really that near to MRT, right, they are still able to fetch a really good selling price because the supply is just very limited. Okay, which is why those buyers, right, especially I have some buyers who also bought Lumina Grand Altura, I am very confident that they will also be getting a very good capital gain in future. But what about Novo Place? So like I say, right, yes, Novo Place is not within 1 km of ACS, but do remember we are within 1 km of Princess Elizabeth Primary School, which is also a very good school. But most importantly, the main advantage is this MRT, 350 meters to MRT station. So in the future, any buyers who put nearby to MRT as their first priority, definitely Novo Place has to be a project that they will definitely be looking at. This will give you a very good advantage to exit. All right. This one I put out the charts lah, okay, for all the project so that you can see, how have they performed since the launch until today. So the deal over here, okay, I wouldn't go into the deal too much because this is a very old project already, so it's not exactly an apple to apple comparison. Okay, so Rainforest 2015, it's already 9 years. So I don't think I will touch on this also, but again, look at the chart. People actually entered around 700 PSF, and then now they are selling around 1,004, 1,005 PSF. Then Wonderville, okay, so Wonderville 2018, how much has these people made? Okay, so I will just do a simple calculation to show you. So you see, these people, they enter slightly below 800. Let's take it at just 800. Then how much are they selling now? 1470. Okay, in simple math, I'll just take 1,004 lah. Right, that means these people, right, they bought at 800, now they're selling at 1,004. What is the profit? The profit is a 600 PSF. So simple math, if let's say they were to buy a 3-bedder last time at 1,000 square feet unit, how much will their capital gain be today? Right, so simple, 1,000 multiplied by 600, 600,000 capital gain. This is if they would have bought a 3-bedder. If let's say they go for a 4-bedder, 5-bedder, let's say 5-bedder at 1,1350 square feet, multiplied by the same 600. Okay, I cannot do the math lah. Okay, so it will probably be near $1 million. Okay, so this is the type of capital gain that Wonderville buyers are looking at because they achieve a 92% capital gain. Okay, so similarly, if we look at Soul Acres, so those who are staying at this area, you will know one. Soul Acres is 1.2 kilometer from Choa Chu Kang MRT. Is that location fantastic, very convenient, so-so. Okay, I would say so-so, but look at the entry price. People went in around near 800, and then now they're selling around 1,004. Same thing, okay, so 800 versus 1,004 is another 600 PSF gain. Similarly for inns, around 750, now they're selling around 1,004. Okay, so I say 750 and then 1,1350. again around 600 PSF. So same thing, 3-bedder, 1,000 square feet, I multiply by 600, your capital gain is 600,000. Okay, so of course, am I saying that, you know, if you buy Novo Place, you'll definitely be having this type of capital gain? I cannot guarantee. Okay, but the thing is that past performance of ECs at this location has shown us that, you know, people who bought into any of these ECs are now sitting on this type of profit. Okay, so even if, let's say, we don't look at 600,000, we just say we look at a capital gain of 400,000. Is this a good capital gain in terms of being able to move into a brand new condo, enjoy the brand new facilities? At the end of the day, you are still able to get a very healthy capital gain, right? So this one, I leave it to you to think about it. Okay, Copen Grand. All right, so like I mentioned just now, right? How come Copen Grand has a 15%, 14% capital gain, even though it's still under construction? Okay, because sometimes, right, on the launch day, people book a unit, but somewhere along the line, they give up. Okay, they forfeit their purchase, and developer will take the unit back. And then recently, there are a few bounce out units for Copen Grand that the developer has resale to other buyers. And what the developer did was they changed the pricing lah. All right, so how much did they sell it at? 1,500 PSF. Okay, so imagine if you are one of the buyers for Copen Grand who booked a unit, I think about 2-3 years ago. Okay, so even now, right, you haven't got the key, you already know that people are happy to buy a resale from you at 1,500. Okay, so imagine after collecting your key and then staying in Copen Grand for another 5 years. Now it's 2024. So if let's say you hit your 5 years MOP around 2029 or 2030, do you think the price will still continue to go up? Chances will be. So how much paper gain are all these buyers sitting on, you know, if let's say they enter Copen Grand on the first day? So let's take a look. It's like 1,350 an average. Now developers sold this unit at 1,500. Okay, just simple. It's already 150 PSF on paper capital gain. So similarly, if let's say they bought a 1,000 square feet unit, for easy calculation, right, multiplies by 150, on paper itself, even haven't collect the key, right, they are already sitting on 150,000 capital gain. Okay, so the important thing about buying an EC is because it is a subsidized housing versus a private new launch. Okay, which means that your entry price is always lower compared to the new private launches, be it in 2007 or 2012, 2019 or whatever. Okay, so I will show you the price gap in a while. Okay, but what I'm trying to bring across is that buying an EC is a very safe type of upgrading into the private segment. Okay, because you'll be always paying probably 20 to 30% discount versus what the private launches are being sold at. Okay, so number 3, which is the important segment that I mentioned just now, the price gap, okay, of the new ECs versus the private launches, okay, in the past 17 years. Okay, so I will be touching a lot on this because I feel that this is very important for all, be it whether you are a first timer or HDB upgrader. This is very important for all property seekers to understand. Okay, so in 2007, which is 17 years ago, know how much was private sold at? 651 PSF, okay, which is here, somewhere here. All right, and then how much was EC sold at? 494. Okay, so at that point in time, 2007, if you would have bought a private at 651, that was the all-time high selling price. Okay, but what is the price gap? You know, this gap between a private and the EC, this gap over here. Okay, it is 31.7%. So what this means is back in 2007, if let's say you were to buy an EC and your friend is to buy a private, you are practically paying 31.7% cheaper than what your friend is paying, okay, for almost the same product. Okay, because for EC is always a full facilities condominium. After 5 years, it becomes semi-privatized where you can sell to locals and PR. And then after another 5 years, when you reach the 10-year mark, it will be fully privatized and can sell to anybody, including foreigners. Okay, so this is 2007. So what happened next? In 2012, okay, just now we are here, 2007. Now we go to 2012. Okay, the price gap at that point is 58.1%. You see the gap widening up. Okay, that means the private prices are picking up faster versus to new ECs. Okay, so in 2012, private have already hit 1001 PSF. Sounds really cheap now, okay, but at that point in time, 1001 is the all-time high. And then EC was selling at 700, 58% price gap. Okay, so I'll just continue. 2015, so 2007, 2012, now 2015. Private 1241, EC 800. So do you notice something? The prices has been consistently going up. Okay, so I have always been telling my personal clients, right? The reason why people are still looking at property now, the reason why people are visiting the show flat now is because we are so used to hearing friends and relatives who have bought properties 5, 10, 15 years ago making good profit. Okay, which is why the interest level is always there. Okay, and it's also because our currency, our government, is very stable, which is why people always see property as a safe investment, and then they can also get to enjoy staying in a new property itself. Okay, so take note, the gap is also again 50% comparing to 2012. Okay, so going to 2019, okay, so which is pretty near now, okay, just 5 years ago. Some of y'all may recall, like Plantation Grand, like Aurelle, like Park Canberra, all those recent ECs that currently the owners are getting their key, right? They are sold at 1,100 PSF. Okay, and if I can recall a lot of buyers are a bit stunned. Okay, they cannot accept EC crossing 1,000 PSF at that point in time. But at that point in time, private was selling around 1,004 PSF, 26.5%. Okay, and then this period, right, 2019, is also the smallest gap between EC and the private. So at that point in time, actually, some of my buyers also went to private. Reason being the gap between the EC and the private is very small. Okay, so it makes more sense for a buyer to go for a private because for a private you do not have the 5 years MOP period, okay, which an EC must have. Okay, so just a very quick example, if you were to buy into an EC today, you have to wait for it to construct probably 3 to 4 years time, and then you have to stay there for 5 years before you can sell it off in the open market. That is a time period of 9 years. But if you go into a private, upon exercising the OTP, right, after 3 years, your stellar stamp duty period will be over. Okay, and you can easily sell it off in the open market if you want to. Right, so in terms of EC and private, of course, the main difference is the timeline. And then looking back at 2019, a lot of people actually went to private because the gap is smaller. Right, it makes sense. But what happened in 2023 is again, the gap is opened up again. All right, when private are selling around 2,000-ish, EC have already hit around 1,400 PSF. And what about today? Okay, right now, our private also around 2,100, 2,200. EC is around 1,004, 1,005. Okay, so this is how the gap has always been, all right, around 40 to 50%. And again, why is this important? Why am I talking so much about this price gap? Okay, it's because when the price gap is wider, there's a price opportunity. Remember just now I was telling you, private nowadays, like Woodlands, right? There's a launch in Woodlands just last week, North Grand, averagely selling around 2,000 PSF and 84% sold. Okay, which means that people are accepting this type of price range, even in Woodlands. And how much is a 3-bedder sold there? Around a range, if I can remember, a range of 1.8 million to around 2 point something million. 2.x million. Okay, but in Novo Place, right, if you were to book a unit, the lowest price 3-bedder is only 1.298 million. I just put it at 1.3 million. Okay, you can see there's a price gap of 500,000. Okay, which is what I mentioned just now, the discount versus getting into a private versus an EC. So this is a price opportunity that is only for Singaporean. Okay, because EC you do need to be a Singaporean for at least one party before you can qualify to buy an EC, right? And price gap, when the price gap is wider, it also means that affordability, right? Some of the buyers, of course, if you have more liquidity on hand, you're able to get a higher loan. You don't think that 1.8 million is an issue, then that's a good thing, all right? But there are still HDB upgraders or first timer, they have just entered the market, just started working, do not have so much liquidity on hand. So EC is being cheap, so much cheaper versus a private new launch. This gives you the opportunity to enter the private market, right? And then the price gap wider also means what? It's an extra safe entry price. Let's just take this example again. Today, if let's say you were to enter into this 1.3 million, and then you know that Woodlands, people who are not able to buy an EC, they are buying at least 1.8 million. This is a difference of 500,000. Okay, and then why this is important is because everybody don't want to lose money when they buy a property. Is that right? Correct, right? So the thing is that when people buy a 1.8 million property in Woodlands, how much would they sell in future? All right, so I'll probably say around a 20 to 30% price gap. So they'll be looking to sell around probably 2.3 million to 2.4 million. Okay, so this is just an estimate. Okay, but take note, your entry price is only 1.3 million, which means that if next time you were to just sell your house at 1.9 million or even 1.8 million, this is where your capital gain comes in easily. Okay, so the thing is that today in 2024, you are buying 1.3, and then 8 years to 9 years later, in 2032, you only target to sell 1.8 to 1.9 million, which is the entry price of what people are paying today for Woodlands. Okay, so does this make sense? Does this feel safe? Right? So this one is subjective. I mean, to me, of course, is a very safe entry price, but I leave it to you to think about it. And then price gap wider also means a higher profit margin. This is the one that I'm talking about, right? You're going at 1.3, and 8 to 9 years later, you sell back at 2024 private launches price. This will give you the profit margin that a lot of HDB upgraders or first timers are looking at. And then this is the most important thing. The entire market is moving, all right, not just new EC. Because we always hear some of the clients say, wow, 5 years ago, wow, 1,001 PSF for EC is crazy, it's too high. And then 3 years ago, wow, 1,003, 1,004 for EC, wow, cannot, it's too risky, right? And then now we're at this 1,005, 1,006 price point. So again, we have to understand, that the entire market is moving, and not just new EC. Even our HDB prices are moving, right? So it's very common that we see $1 million HDB on the newspaper nowadays, correct? Like if let's say I were to talk about $1 million HDB 5 years ago, that creates a big news. But today, $1 million HDBs are practically everywhere, especially the RCR region, the city fringe region. It is already very common. Okay, so this is something that is very important. Okay, everybody has to understand that everything is going up. Okay, inflation, labor costs, land price, material costs. So everything is moving in tandem. Okay, and we have to understand this. Okay. Right, so now come to the last segment, which is the BTO clusters and the HDB resale prices at this location. Okay, so just now I was saying, why is this important? Is because all this will be your future buyers. Okay, yes, this is the number that I wanted to show you all just now. You see, in the whole of Bukit Batok, Tengah, Choa Chu Kang, Bukit Panjang, how many HDB owners are there? Okay, 155,000. Okay, if let's say I don't take Bukit Panjang lah, if let's say I don't look at Bukit Panjang, all right, I will still have around 120,000 HDB upgraders. Okay, this is a huge amount because I will show you the number of condos, the number of ECs in this location based on the numbers of units in each project. Okay, and then for 5 main cluster in this, okay, Novo Place also over here. All right, so I just let you know Novo Place first. And then in this Bukit Batok new town area, right, is over here. Okay, this is where the Bukit Batok old central is, okay, where all the older HDBs are here. Okay, so they have 5 main clusters with transaction, and then there are also a lot more BTO lah. There are really too many BTOs in Bukit Batok hitting their MOP. So I'm not pulling everything. I just show you some main clusters. Okay, so for West Regis, 4 room, 5 room, now they are already selling around 500 plus to near 700 for 4 room. And then 5 room, about 600 to 800 plus for 5 room. Their profit is around 330,000. Okay, I'll go through very quickly. West Valley, West Terra, profit around 400, 5 room hitting 900,000. West Crest, around for 350 profit, hitting around 850 for 5 room, 650 for 4 room. Skyline 1, Skyline 2, profit margin, and these are the prices the 4 and 5 bedrooms are hitting. Okay, Sky Peak, 6 years, another side of Bukit Batok, also around 900 plus, 800 plus for 4 room, 5 room, and their profit margin around 380. Okay, so again, why are people able to upgrade to a private after getting into a BTO? It's because most of them are having this 300, 400 profit capital gain from their HDB, which is why they are able to step up, they are able to upgrade into a private resale quite easily, I must say. Okay, and then more BTO clusters already or MOP soon. Okay, so there are a lot, Westgate, West Hill, West Glades, West Plains, all this. And then not forgetting the entire new Tengah HDB estate. Okay, so if you have drove past this Tengah area, well, you can see the amount of HDBs coming up is really a lot. All right, so the amount of HDBs over there, but as of now, there's only Copen Grand and now Novo Place, and also the next plot just beside, which is also developed by Hoi Hub. Right, that one probably will be a next year project, EC. Okay, so this is the number of units. Copen Grand 639, Altura 360, Novo Place 504, Tengah, the other plot by Hoi Hub also. That one we don't know yet, probably around also 500 units. Total, all these newer units, right, that is really in Tengah, just beside Tengah and also Bukit Batok. There's only 2,000 units. Remember just now I say the Bukit Batok, Choa Chu Kang, all this together, there are 120,000 HDB upgraders. So just work simple. Supply, there's only 2,003. Demand, I don't say 120,000. I just take a quarter. A quarter of 120,000 is 30,000. Okay, so 2,000 newer EC versus a 30,000 HDB upgraders probably looking to upgrade into a resale condo. This makes it easy for you to exit. Okay, and then just now I touched on the price gap. Okay, so practically you're buying into something that is a good discount versus what the private launches are selling at this moment. All right, so I'll just give a very quick summary. This is the end of the video, what I wanted to share with you. Okay, I don't want to make this into a very long video. I'll just my intention is to give you all this key information, all this more important data that I have researched on. So if you really want to know more, you can always make an appointment with us, and then we can give you more insights, more information of Novo Place. And probably if you have any questions, you can also let us know. All right, so key reasons of why Novo Place to me is going to be, I would say, definitely a very good selling project, well, once it's launched 2 weeks later. Number one, this is the EC that is nearest to an MRT station. So this gives you, number one, the MRT advantage, all right, at this west location of Singapore. Okay, and then if let's say you are looking at existing stock for Grand, for Lumina, Altura, definitely Lumina and Altura, there are still units over there. But if let's say you're looking for like a 3-bedder premium, or you're looking for like a 4-bedder deluxe, you know, the really hot unit types that most people are looking at now, they are already sold out. Okay, and then if let's say there are any units that bounce out, usually the prices will be different versus the launch day price. So again, are you willing to pay higher versus the day one buyers? All right, so this one, no right and wrong. Okay, so but usually the bounce out units will be priced higher. Okay, and then this is the first harmonization new EC project in Singapore. All right, so harmonization is a big topic I will not touch on in this video, but technically in simple term is that people who bought previously, they pay for the aircon latch. Okay, but for Novo Place, now they do not pay for aircon latch anymore. Okay, so simple example, if last time people used to buy a 1000 square feet unit, this is inclusive of aircon latch. So they pay for the aircon latch. But for Novo Place, because they are not paying for aircon latch, this 1000 square feet unit now become probably, I would say, 930 square feet. Right? Just an example. Okay? Because now you take away the aircon latch. So you only pay for 930 square feet in terms of size. Okay, so again, what this means is that you have a quantum advantage. That means most of the time you will be paying a slightly lesser price because now you are paying 70 square feet lesser than what people used to be paying. Okay, and then price gap. Okay, this one important. Okay, the price gap of the new EC versus a new private. Like I say, you know, Woodlands, Lentor, Lakeside, all the outer areas of Singapore. Now the average PSF is around 2001 to 2003. Okay, so this is on average, and it's not that they are not selling. They are around, no, Woodlands, like I say, 84% sold, and then Lentor is selling very well. That means that people who are unable, they do not qualify to buy an EC, they are already buying at this type of pricing. Okay, so if you are able to enter an EC, you are eligible to go into something that is only 1005 to 1006 PSF. Is it safe or not? Right? Is the price gap comfortable? I would say yes. Okay, and then just now I talked about affordability, and then the entry price, and your eligibility next year. Okay, cause some of our clients we also saw a lot of our clients, they always feel that, no, I think I wait for next year. Okay, but the thing is, to buy an EC, there are a lot of criteria. Okay, so what if good news what if your career picked up and then your income increased substantially, but because EC has an income ceiling of 16,000, there are some of our clients, right, because they wait for 1 year, and then because of pay raise, and then because of they get a very good pay increment, and then suddenly next year they are not eligible to buy an EC anymore. Okay, so these are very common things that always happen to a lot of buyers. Okay, and then most importantly, buying is always easy, but for Novo Place, I will feel that it's also super easy to exit because, you know, of the HDB, the supply and demand, and then all the other ECs not near MRT, which also gives Novo Place an exit advantage. Okay, so to me, for Novo Place, there are 3 big advantages: MRT, quantum, and exit, right? Which makes it extra safe to go into Novo Place. Okay, so I've already presented everything I want to share with everyone in this video today. Okay, so from here, I'll be just sharing some information that you may not know, okay, be it your first timer or HDB upgrader. Okay, so key advantages of going to a new ECs, other than the capital gain that I talked about, other than being able to move into a brand new development. So some key advantages of EC is that if you are a current HDB owner, you do not need to sell HDB now. Okay, you have the luxury to book the EC first, continue to stay in your HDB, and then only when the EC is near completion, then we time it accordingly to sell a HDB All right, so that one is more on timeline. Okay, that one we can explain to you if we do meet up. All right. And then, even though you are able to book a new EC right now without selling on HDB, you do not have to pay any ABSD. All right, the additional buyer stamp duty, definitely no need to pay. All right, and then which means that you're upgrading to the private sector in a very safe manner in terms of timeline, in terms of having a place to stay, and then also in terms of pricing, entry price. Okay, your current HDB, even though not sold, and you are still able to stay in there for the next 3 years, 4 years, right, can be able to help you to finance your EC purchase. Okay, we call this the bridging loan. All right, so again, I will not be touching so much in this video. If you are HDB upgrader, you want to know more information on this, you can let me know. And then how can we assist? Okay, so eligibility assessment. All right, so there are a lot of eligibility for EC, which we will help you to assess whether you are able or not. Like example, like divorcee, if let's say now you are having a foreign spouse or PR or this. All right, so we'll assess whether you are eligible to go for EC or not. And then financial and loan assessment, I can work out for you how much loan you can get. And then there are instruments like pledging, unpledging to enable you to get a higher loan. Right, so all this we will also do a very detailed calculation for you to help you to be able to finance your purchase. Risk assessment, like I say, buying is always easy, but to us is that upgrading of a property must always be safe. So do not overstretch. Okay, so this is where we come into the picture again to do a risk assessment for you. Okay, choosing the right unit. Okay, so again, people have different wants and needs. So some people just want to have a comfort of staying, and then other clients may put investment as a higher priority. Okay, so this makes a lot of difference between choosing of units, choosing of the blocks and the facing. Right, so this will also be covered in terms of how to select a good unit to achieve what you want. And then appeals. All right, so what if your income ceiling is higher than 16,000? What if your current HDB you are staying in, you are only staying there for like 4 years and a half? Are you eligible to buy an EC? How do we actually appeal? Right, so all this we will assist also. Alright, so this comes to the end of this video for Novo Place EC. I hope that this video has given you a very good knowledge on the Singapore market, understanding how the prices has moved, and also understanding how the current market new private launches are selling at. Okay, and then understand the price gap, which is very important. So if let's say you want to take a look at Novo Place, currently it is still having its preview period from 2nd November to 12th November, which is next Tuesday. So if you'd like to visit the show flat, want to take a look at this project, want to understand more, work out your timeline, or want us to do a detailed financial calculation for you, do feel free to make an appointment with us. Okay, so be it Novo Place, if let's say you are looking at Aurelle, all right, a Tampines EC, which is probably launching around first quarter of 2025, we will be doing that also. So get in touch with me, and then I'll be happy to meet you to understand more on how we can assist. Alright, so this comes to the end of this video. If you like what I have shared, do subscribe and like our channel. And then because from time to time when we chance upon a good project, we'll always do a video like this. Alright, so I'm Keith from the Property Upgrader, and I'll see you in our next video. Bye bye.